So sit back, relax, enjoy the performance.
Just over 10 years ago, just an ordinary moment, I was driving. Paul usually drives, but I picked him up from somewhere. When all of a sudden I hear this strange tapping sound, not loud, just regular, kind of sound like he picked up something in a tire. Do you hear that, I said?
No, what?
When all of a sudden it just stopped. You didn't hear that just now? That
Oh,
sounded like we picked up a nail.
I don't think so.
15 seconds later, it starts up again. That! Tell me you hear that.
No, what?
I'm pulling over. As soon as I stopped the car, I looked over at Paul and I could see what it was. It's your foot. It's tapping.
It was my foot. It was tapping like this against the bottom of the car door. What I said was, maybe I better switch to decaf. Or maybe your driving is making me nervous. What I didn't say was my foot's been doing this a lot the last few weeks. Sometimes I can make it stop, sometimes I can't. It's like it's got a mind of its own. And I'm worried. No, didn't say any of that. You know, looking back at that moment, that was a small thing, but that was a turning point. Really, it was the beginning of my Parkinson's journey.
Our journey. Our journey. Don't you dare say it was just you.
At first, I was in complete denial. There was too little sleep, too much stress, too much caffeine, and, you know, it wasn't all that bad. My hand and foot would tremor intermittently, but it would always tremor when I was in a car, going number 2, watching Buckeye football.
Oh, the football games? His tremor was nuts. It was dinner and a show, let me tell you.
All right, I'm the comedian here, not you. Yeah, it was bad, but I could always turn it off if I really focused on it. We did have a friend who looked at me and said, Parkinson's. So I Googled it, nearly wet my pants and promised never to Google it again, but that was just enough.
And he does mean just enough.
Just enough for me to book an appointment with a neurologist. Let's call her, let's call her Dr. A.
He put on quite a show at that first appointment.
Hey Doc, I got one for you. Why did the neurologist go on an African safari?
Because he wanted to study the hippocampus.
Why do neurologists think they're God?
Because they can turn any animal into a vegetable. I've heard them all.
Let's see. Donald Trump, Mother Teresa, and a neurologist walk into a bar. The bar. Never mind. All this time, my foot was going like it was in the car on the way over. Dr. A looks down. Yeah, that. Nerves, I guess. Or maybe it's the white coat syndrome. I can make it stop.
We're going to run through a couple of tests. I'd like you to take your thumb and your first finger, tap as quickly as you can. And with the left,
I was never so determined to pass a test in all my life.
flip back and forth.
I laughed, I joked, I flirted. Hey, Doc.
He seemed a little dialed up. With the right,
I brought every ounce of my being into doing exactly what she was showing me to do, even better than she could do it, but I could tell something wasn't quite right. Something wasn't quite right at all.
next appointment, I have the results of your MRI.
Her back was to me. My foot was going 90 miles an hour, and this time my left leg got in on the action. But seeing her there, looking at my MRI, it looked like I was in an episode of Grey's Anatomy. There she was, my very own Dr. Gray, there to save the day.
Well, I'm not seeing any brain lesions or tumors.
Well, I could have told you that, Doc. And I just blurted it out like a complete idiot.
I paused long enough to let him feel bad.
There is some brain atrophy. I don't think it's Parkinson's, though. You're too young.
Most likely essential tremor, that or overwork, too much stress.
Overwork. Overwork. That was it. I knew I liked her.
I'm gonna write you a prescription for Mirapex. I want you to take it twice a day with or without food, and we'll see what happens. The brain is a mystery.
I went home. I never took a single pill. You know, in my opinion, the brain should be a little less mysterious to somebody making $300,000 a year.
But it was Parkinson's. Somewhere deep down, I knew it, and I'm sure he knew it too. But even still, it took another year. A year to get confirmation from a different doctor. A year that I spent begging, pleading, threatening.
What she said was, find a real doctor or I'm gonna kill you. I'm quoting, but I still didn't go.
What you did, Paul, was waste a year of our lives. Why? For what? Parkinson's disease is a neurodegenerative condition. It only has one trajectory. And that's why after a year, Paul couldn't hold a newspaper anymore. He could pick it up, but he would shake so badly that he couldn't read it. You could hear him a mile away on the computer, quadruple clicking on the mouse. Anything that required finesse, out. He couldn't do it. Riding the motorcycle to Denver, went to riding it around the block, went to riding it once a month, went to storing it in the garage.
I'm just selling it to my knucklehead brother-in-law because I didn't want to see it or think about it, or do the math on however fast this, whatever it was progressing. You know, my co-worker had the cojones to go to my boss and say,
You gotta do something about Paul. He's starting to scare the clients with his whatever it is. You seen him give a presentation lately? We're losing business because people think he's a drug addict.
to his credit, my boss told him to shut up or report me to HR. Shaking because I'm a drug addict? I may be shaking, but I can still pound his skull into the ground.
We kind of had a point, Paul. I mean, they don't know what's going on with you. We don't know what's going on with you. We don't know, and I'm getting to the place where I have to know. I don't want to, neither of us do, but I have to know, and I can't keep worrying and wondering when I'm going to wake up and you'll be dead next
What are you talking about? I'm not dying, Marty. That's ridiculous.
Is it, Paul? That's the point. I can't keep asking you because you seem to think that not knowing makes it not real. So make an appointment with the doctor and find out what's going on because I don't know how much longer I can take this. Sorry, just make an appointment and find out what's going on. I'm your wife and I can't just sit by and watch you suffer. I won't.
I can't do it without her. That's for certain.
Dr. Ferguson.
Oh, hi, Dr. Ferguson. Hey, have you heard the joke about the... never mind. We go through the getting to know you stuff, and then...
Okay, we're going to run a couple of tests. Here's what I'd like you to do. Stand up and go to the end of the room there. Yeah, just right there. And I'm going to have you walk a straight line all the way to here. Go ahead and turn around and come on back. Great. Come back and take a seat. And with your right heel, I'd like you to dig into the ground as quickly as you can. Okay, with the left. Okay. And I want you to follow the end of my pen here with your eyes.
I didn't know why on earth she was checking my eyesight. Until I looked at her face and realized she wasn't looking into my eyes, she was looking at my hand, which was tremoring. I was just about to call her out on this little trick when she said the words,
You've got Parkinson's.
I knew I had it, and I still was not ready for that. She knew right away.
Sorry, Paul. I wouldn't say it if I didn't know it was real. Let's run a couple more tests.
The other doctor said I was too young.
You're not. It's early onset. It's not all that uncommon. Let's run a couple more tests.
I just would rather not, if you don't mind.
Okay. Well, I have to get a baseline, but we can do that next time.
You know, it's kind of a relief, actually.
Is it? Tell me more.
So, it's Parkinson's. I feel a sense of relief. I wasn't expecting that. I guess now we know.
Yeah, that's what we said. We just have to know.
And knowledge is power.
I mean, I'm sorry. I know it's a relief to know, but it's still effing Parkinson's.
Well, we're in trouble if you're saying effing.
Paul, listen to me. I'm not going to leave you. We're going to fight this thing together.
I know. That's what I said. What I didn't say was, I don't believe you. Because. Well, I don't want to believe you because I don't want to believe me. I don't want to believe any of it. Sounds like a bad Hallmark card to me. Parkinson's? What did I do? What did I do to deserve this? Day one of I have Parkinson's. Off to a pretty good start. I said I'd never Google it again, but now it's all I can do. So, let's see here. Parkinson's disease was first medically described as a neurological syndrome by James Parkinson in 1817. It's considered blah, 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 blah. Okay, the second most common neurological condition. I didn't know that. Over 1 million Americans have PD. Losers. Let's see. Parkinson's has 5 stages. Now we're getting to it. Stage 1. Mild symptoms such as tremor with little interference with daily life. Stage 2. Symptoms on both sides of the body. Stage 3. Falls are more common. Daily activities are significantly impaired. Stage 4. Symptoms are severe and limiting. Sufferers are unable to live alone. Sufferers. That's quite a word. Let's see. Stage 5. Oh, Lord help me. All right, here we go. Hey, wait a minute. You want to hear this?
I gotta know the story.
Not like the top 7 benefits of having Parkinson's.
What?
Well, there's got to be a benefit or two. I don't know. Number 1, you're great at drawing Polaroid pictures.
What?
Yeah.
That's obscure.
Number 2, all your food is mouth-watering.
What does that even mean?
Oh, drooling, I guess. Number 3, you're the envy of the room with your soft voice. Number 4, you can't smell your grandkids' dirty diapers.
Loss of smell. You haven't had that yet.
Yeah, well, I'm not a grandpa. Number 5, in the bedroom, you're the best at...
What?
It's dirty.
What is it?
No, even if I could do this, I wouldn't do this.
Okay, now I have to find out
No. Do your own research. Number 6, you can paint like Jackson Pollock.
Oh, yeah.
And number 7, your facial expression makes you look like a deep thinker.
Oh, suddenly the comedian is an intellectual. Can't wait for that.
Yes, can't wait for that.
I have to go.
It doesn't take much research into Parkinson's to know that exercise is key. It's as good as medication, according to some. My neuro looked me in the eye and said, exercise is your full-time job, so get cracking. So I signed up for a PB exercise class before Marty has a chance to threaten me with bodily injury. So I arrived at the class feeling pretty gung-ho, I'm doing all right, doing okay. I've got Parkinson's, but this is step number 1. Evidently, the instructor has given everybody a superhero's name because after introducing me by my real name, he suddenly starts referring to me as Batman. And I think, all right, I can roll with that. I'm Batman. As I look around the room, I realize this is the first time I've been around other Parkies, as they say. A whole room full of them. Which I think is supposed to be comforting on some level. Like we're all fellow sufferers, we're all in this together. But as the class begins, I realize I've made a mistake in coming here. Because nearly half the class is worse off than I am. 10 minutes in, Thor's tremor is off the chart, and Wonder Woman's got no balance, and we're all slow as molasses, and it hits me like a ton of bricks. I'm looking at the future me. So, I'm Batman. Let me tell you a little secret about Parkies. We all tend to do the math, and here's what I mean. When 2 Parkinson's patients meet each other, one of the first things they ask is, when were you diagnosed? Which sounds well and good, like you're interested in them and their PD journey, and maybe you are. But what's also happening is you're taking that year and comparing it to your year. Then you're sizing up how bad their symptoms are and comparing it to how bad your symptoms are. Then your feeble, dopamine-deprived brain tries to create a line graph on an XY axis to determine who's getting worse faster and how much faster. If I'm doing better than my newfound friend, well, A+ for me. If I'm doing worse, then, well, I'm headed to Dairy Queen on the way home for a blizzard. Reese's peanut butter cup with extra peanut butter sauce. Because I like to eat my feelings. So the class is a bust. I'm sure they're very nice people, but I can't go back there. I do learn 2 things. Number 1, I'm in really bad shape. And number 2, superheroes have a better chance of getting Parkinson's than defeating it. My quarterly appointment with my neuro goes like all of the other quarterly appointments.
Okay, Paul, with the right hand. Okay, with the left.
I can tell I'm getting worse. She's tallying something on the laptop. She doesn't say a word, nor do I.
Okay, I have a note here that says you're going to take the PD exercise class.
Yeah. It was great.
Oh, good, and you're going to keep going?
Yes.
Great. So, how much exercise would you say you're getting a week?
Well, does We Fit count? Because believe it or not, I still have one of those.
Well, you need to be doing more than that, but I'll make a note of it. And you're using it?
Oh yeah, bowling can get really intense.
Okay, so We Fit and...
Yeah, that's about it.
Except that you're going to be doing the weekly exercise class?
Yes. Yeah, sorry. That was a given.
Okay. lot of resources available for you here. We can get you set up with a mental health therapist and a social worker. I'm highly recommending a physical therapist for things like gait and balance. Can I have them give you a call?
Sure. I need help. She puts it in her chart, and I get calls and I don't answer them. My time with my neuro, it's kind of a sham. It's expensive to see her even with insurance. So when I'm there, I fake. I lie. I gloss over. I pretend. I say things like, yeah, I'm doing fine. I'll do better next time. And then I go out to my car and I cry. I don't know why I do these things. It's just the nature of the disease. It's so hard to take. You just fake a little optimism because what else is there? She's not getting to know me by asking me key questions, which is fine. She's busy. There's a line of people out the door. But what really gets me at the end of the day, at the end of this conversation, is the fact that I'm not doing all the things that she, the neurologist, wants me to do. And what I don't say to her is, you try it, Doc. You try it. You try being too stiff, too sore, too sad, too anxious, too depressed, too embarrassed, too heartbroken to do all your stuff. No, I don't say that. I don't even say it to Marty.
So what'd she say?
More meds, I guess.
More Cinemat?
Yeah. More of everything.
And?
And I'm supposed to walk more and lay off dairy.
Did you tell her about the falls, Paul? Paul, did you tell her anything on the list?
I left all this on the
You
nightstand.
forgot the list on the nightstand. You're forgetting things, Paul. You're falling, you're forgetting. You don't sleep at night. When you do sleep, you can't get up. You drive like a drunk.
I don't drive like a
I
drunk.
have the list right up here because I see it every day.
Good grief.
Honey, please, you're getting worse, and you need to tell her about the things on the list.
The list, stupid list. I'm getting worse. Don't you think I know that? I know that better than anybody else. But I can't do all the things she's asked me to do. And I don't really care because it's coming for me either way. You want to be married to Michael J. Fox? Yeah, well, I'm not eternally optimistic. And I'm certainly not a lucky man. That's the title of his book.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to do for you, Paul.
Yeah? Well, I don't know what to do for you. Or for me, Marty.
I don't know what to do for you, Paul. That's what I said. What I didn't say is I don't know who you are anymore, Paul. That's what breaks my heart. The diagnosis first came, I was prepared. I knew he had it, so I wasn't surprised by the diagnosis. Mind you, no one wants to hear you've got Parkinson's, but I can Google with the best of them. Paul has no idea how much time I spent online that first year researching how to become a more supportive partner. And I was ready for him to have more issues. I researched articles on how to offer help without being offensive or belittling, and how to manage a team of people for his care. I made plans to move to a one-story ranch and kept a closer eye on our finances, all of that. But I wasn't ready for Paul not to be Paul. It comes down to the stuff you don't see. The bitterness, the emptiness, the sadness. Paul doesn't tell me how he's feeling or how he's doing. There's a lot of loneliness in that. And he's still snarky. He'll even say, I don't have Parkinson's, I have Snarkinson's. And now he's just mean. puts on a happy face when he has to. And he has no idea how much he's changed. He outright lies to the neuro about how he's doing, and he would never do that before. And I know she sees through it, but I stopped going to appointments with him because I can't just sit there with this, he's lying to you, look on my face. Our world has shrunk. We don't go out. We don't travel. We don't do things we used to love doing. It's probably better because we would probably kill each other on a road trip. And at the end of the day, I just feel guilty. Picturing this completely different life with this completely different person, it just surprises me. I have this daydream where I meet this doctor. Never mind. Paul thinks I'm going to leave him. If I had a nickel for every time he said, you didn't sign up for this, I would never leave Paul. But this person Paul's become, it's different. It just is.
I rallied, not a lot, just a little, just enough to rise above the zombie Paul state of fatigue and mild cognitive impairment to try some alternatives. I'm taking enough carbo, believe it over, to choke a horse, as my dad used to say. Well, all of that led up to Dr. Fearnot. And I'm not making that name up. Whether he legally changed his name just for effect, I'm not really sure. I, at some point, stopped doing research on PubMed and started researching YouTube, where I first saw Dr. Fearnot, who was drawing a large tree on a chalkboard with chalk. I hadn't seen a chalkboard in like 20 years, but it did seem to fit in his office with the lava lamps and the little bags of homemade granola. He had written Paul at the top and then Parkinson's in the middle, and then there were all these little roots that were coming out that had little labels like
inflammation, stress, disordered sleep, toxicity, sugar, insulin resistance.
There were a lot of roots. Then I noticed something peculiar. You know how you can tell if somebody's erased something on a chalkboard? Well, the tree and the roots were perfectly clean and clear. But Paul and Parkinson's had clearly been written in an erased area. That's where it hit me. You know, all these roots, they were all to blame. Didn't matter the disease. Didn't matter the patient. These roots were all the same.
And mold.
I'm not allergic to mold. I've been tested.
Paul, I think you'll come to find that everyone is allergic to mold.
What I said was, Dr. Fearnot, I'm sorry. I'm not into this kind of stuff, and it's time for me to go. What I didn't say was, no way on earth, I'm gonna get stung by a bunch of bees, which was one of the therapies. To his credit, he didn't push back. He just said he'd be there when I was ready. He gave me a little bag of granola as a consolation prize. I don't know how or why, but it smelled like seaweed.
These roots represent real problems, Paul. We're going to get down to the bottom of your symptoms. We will. You'll start to feel better. Now, I know some of these therapies may seem a bit odd.
Can you cure my Parkinson's?
Well, no one can cure Parkinson's in the true meaning of that word. I'm sorry if I made you think that way.
That sounds about right. I don't know how I made it home. I was crying so hard that I could barely see the road. Yet another sick and twisted side effect of PD, the pseudo-bulbar effect. Look it up. When I got home, there was a post-it note on the counter that said, you need some space, and you need the kind of help that I can't give you. I'm staying at Monica's. Just like that, Marty was gone. And that's when the tears really flowed.
So, Paul, tell me a little about yourself and why you're here today.
My Parkinson's, as you can clearly see. I'm into sales, I'm married or separated, and I'm here today because I'm struggling.
What would you say you're struggling with the most?
Isn't it obvious, Doc? I'm sorry. My symptoms are worse in these kinds of situations.
There's no need to be sorry or self-conscious. I've dealt with a lot of Parkinson's patients in the past, and as an outsider, I understand some of what you're going through.
Yeah? You are not a sufferer.
Sufferer? That's quite a word. No, I'm not. Would you say that Parkinson's is causing you to suffer?
It's just a word I found in some article, I'm sorry.
It's a word worth exploring. Do you feel like Parkinson's is causing you to suffer?
Yeah. I've lost a lot of things. They call it the gift that keeps on taking.
I've heard that phrase before. What is it taking from you?
We just jump right in there, don't you, Doc?
We can talk about anything you'd like.
That's all right, that's all right, that's all right. What does it take it all? It's taken my life, my job, my sense of confidence in myself. It's taken my sense of smell, my appetite, my face, my voice. On top of all that, it's taken my sanity. And any chance of those things coming back, too.
It's quite a list.
You know, and all that, I'm living on borrowed time. You heard this one, Doc? You get 10 good years, 10 years from when your symptoms start to when it really hits the fan. I'm running out of time.
Well, I happen to think that this is an excellent use of your time. You have to give yourself credit for even coming in today. In my opinion, it shows that you have some thought of things getting better. But I have to say right off the bat that you are suffering, Paul. Parkinson's is a cruel and devastating disease, and you're right, it takes and takes and takes. You feel grief, and you have a right to feel that. You feel loss, and you have a right to feel that. You feel these things because you are a human suffering from Parkinson's. What's your wife's name?
Marty.
Marty. Do you feel like Marty is suffering?
Unless she left me.
But has she abandoned you? Let me ask it like this. Do you feel like she's abandoned you? If she were here with us in the room right now, what would she say to you?
I think her actions speak pretty loudly.
Just humor me here. I know this is our first appointment, but I think we've tapped into something pretty important. If Marty was here right now, what would she say to you?
What would she say?
I would say, I'm sorry, Paul. I shouldn't have left. But she's right, I am suffering. And sometimes it gets to be too much. These past few weeks, I realized that I'm taking my cues from you, and that when you feel hopeless, so do I. But I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't have Parkinson's, you do. But I'm not going to leave you even though you would leave you. It's just like I said on day one, this is our journey, different roles, but same path. But this journey is so much easier when you fight. Please, Paul, please try. Just like day one, our journey.
I'm sorry too. On our way home, I remembered a phrase I had used when we were first married. I told people that I had married up, way, way up. And it seemed more true in that moment than ever before. So, our journey continues. I'm not going to look too far behind or too far ahead. I'm going to try to say things that people didn't say is too minimal. I'm going to try to live in the truth of the here and the now. Fear not. You know, I'm going to try.
Thank you, Matthew and Krista, for that powerful performance. Everybody, let's give them another round of applause. Okay, so right now we're going to transition into a break. After the break, we're going to have a question and answer session with Matthew and Krista. In your folders, we have provided index cards. If you would like to write down a specific question that you want to ask them, please write your questions down. When we come back from the break, I'll have team members collect your cards and we'll try to have that Q&A session. Take this time to visit the vendors in the hallway, use the restroom, and write your questions down. We will reconvene in about 15 minutes. Thank you.
Nice to be here. I wouldn't be here without John Hurley, so I have to thank him one more time. Both of you, Matt and Krista, has writing and acting in the play helped you? What have you learned from this 41st presentation?
Well, also, say the question please one more time.
What have you learned from writing and acting in this play?
Oh,
Both of you.
yeah.
Oh, he's throwing me the ball. I am an actor. I am not Matthew's care partner. We are acting friends. We met about 4 years ago, doing this work. And I didn't know a thing at all. There we go. Sorry, I'm getting sound checked here. All right. Cool. Thank you. I didn't know anything about Parkinson's. It's not something that had been in my radar. When I first met Matthew, we were doing a production together, and I think it was the first rehearsal. He stated to the cast, just so you'll know, I have Parkinson's, so if you see me shaking, I'm not nervous. I'm actually great. And that's what you're gonna see. And just watching him sort of alter certain body movements on the stage to allow or to prevent, I guess, the tremor from showing on stage. And I learned so much through this process, mostly through the talkbacks and meeting folks of all ages, of all stages of PD, meeting the caregivers, meeting family members. And I think what stands out to me most as a literal outsider is how much this affects people. Every time we announce that we're going somewhere new, people will say, can you come here? My mom needs to hear this. My dad needs to hear it. My children, my adult children need to hear this to understand what we are going through. So it's been overwhelming, honestly, in a beautiful way, just to hear the feedback that we've received and how this version of edutainment is so beneficial to folks.
I learned a lot. This is the first time playwright. So this is the first play I've written. I've turned it into a screenplay. I'm determined. We're in the money-raising stage of the whole thing, but I'm determined for us to have a full-length feature film out there in the public about Parkinson's. We've had dementia a lot. You talk about raising public awareness. Let's do it. I need your help. Frankly, it's very expensive. And you can contact me outside of this, but I'm learning a lot about that skill as a playwright and a screenplay writer. And I'm learning a lot about Parkinson's, of course, my own journey, but the particulars. And people come up to me all the time and say, why isn't this in the play, or why isn't that? And I'm like, well, it's only 45 minutes long, which I think is a good length. But one of the things I'm learning is how many varied symptoms we have. And we are all snowflakes. You've heard that phrase, we are snowflakes. We're all individuals, we all have a different makeup. By the way, I put into the play a couple urban legends, things that aren't really true, but that we hear about Parkinson's. So I want to make that part of it. If you know of something or have heard of something that's an urban legend in the play, point that out. Yeah, thank you.
Is the screenwriting effort with Robert Cochran?
Yes.
Yeah. Some of you who have been here before, Robert Cochran was a keynote speaker twice, I think. And he's the partner for that. That's very good. Why did you write the play?
Well, I wrote the play because I wanted to keep being an actor. I've had DBS, and that has changed my equation quite a bit. DBS has almost alleviated my tremor. I've traded a couple things. I have less of this and more of that, but DBS has really helped. But before DBS, I was an actor. I did Shakespeare in the Park, and I was playing in a role in Hamlet, Polonius. And I just noticed that the tremor was too big. It was distracting the audience, it was distracting me. And I thought, all right, there's a roadblock, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna stop being an actor? No, I'm not. I'm gonna write a play. And I'm gonna write a play about Parkinson's. And if I have a tremor, so be it, because that'll fit right in. So that's what I did. Fortunately, my tremor is less than it has been, but I wrote the play so I can continue on as an actor, and with God's help, that's what's happening.
Very good. Parkinson's leads you to difficult choices, difficult conversations. What have you learned about explaining or telling people outside your family that you have Parkinson's? Or when do you stop? What about working? Do you tell your colleagues at work?
Yeah, these are all difficult things to do, especially if you're a conflict avoider like me. It's hard to have these discussions. I am very proactive in telling people I have Parkinson's because they're going to see and they're going to fill in the gap with something, and it's probably not Parkinson's. It's probably something else that they're filling in this gap of information with. And I don't want that. I want them to know what I have and what to expect, and I don't expect that all of you would do that, but that's been my choice, and it's made life a lot easier for me.
What about family dynamics? Did it affect, I don't know, children, grandchildren, brothers, sisters?
Yeah, it affected I don't have children, and I'm no longer married, but my brothers were a big part. I dragged my brother in to see a DBS presentation in Alabama, where he lives in Birmingham. I said, you're going to see this with me. Again, being very proactive, because I might have the surgery and I want someone else to be able to explain it to the family other than me. I don't want to have to spend all my time explaining what DBS is. You're coming with me. So I was very proactive. Come with me, come with me, come with me. And he did, and God bless him, sat through a whole day just like this, and learned and sat through a DBS presentation, and it's been a great, great help to me. I love my brothers, very supportive.
I had a very supportive brother, and I kept seeing PT symptoms in him, and it turned out that he has PT too. So family conversations and coming to something like this, we saw it in him, diagnosed him before he was.
I'm very, very big into proactivity about that. I think that letting people know in the holidays, you know, if they're going to come and see you, and now you're using a cane and before you weren't, to explain to children and grandchildren what that is, where you are, to be honest. That's one of the reasons the play is a little difficult to watch, but it's very emotionally honest, I think. mean, whether outside or inside, we've gone through some of these things.
Krista, you're not a care partner in real life.
I am not.
Are you a care partner in training? Are you?
Yeah, she's my care partner.
Are you developing skills that you can apply later? Is it?
I've been a mom for 18 years,
That counts.
even though I'm 20. But there's a lot of it that I can see, you know, as mothers. So the women in here that are care partners, I'm sure it feels another mothering task, but I think we're gifted with the inherent caretaking, especially if we have children, and just to see some of those things of we give of ourselves, and I commend every care partner in the room of how much you are giving of yourself and losing some identity in that. You know, when our children are young and we feel like, who am I but a milk machine and a holder of children and things. But there's something beautiful about that too, that we are gifted with the ability to do that and to carry through and have strength. So all of the care partners, I commend you highly.
What do you think the play, both of you, what do you think the play tells you about dysfunction and with communication and more in a family, in a couple?
You've got to be straightforward. The play is emotionally honest. You can't fake your way through it. You can't, hide the clarity. We spent quite a bit of time with neurologists, meeting with them, what to say. And if you're not honest with your neurologist, I'll give you a quick example. I was taking Mirapex, and it was making me crave ice cream. And I would often go buy a pint of ice cream in a Target store and go sit in my car in the parking lot and eat it. Sometimes I had to buy a spoon, too. So I was spent like $7 to sit in the Target parking lot and eat a pint of ice cream. And I had the guts to tell that to my neurologist. And she said, oh my, we have to get you off Mirapex or bring down your Mirapex level because it causes cravings, a lot like that. And she did, and I still eat it. Now, see, if I had never brought that up, if I hadn't had the courage to say I'm eating pints of ice cream in a Target and buying spoons, it would never have been addressed. I had to bring it up. Unless the neurologist has the time and the ability to dig in a little bit, but they don't have the time. The truth is, you get more truth out of a therapist because the time is twice as long. You know what I'm saying? I spend an hour with my therapist. We chit-chat about everything. And so I know it's hard for neurologists, but we all have to do a better job in the 20 minutes that we have to tell the truth.
Do you have a spoon in your pocket now?
I don't.
You're not a Boy Scout.
No, you're right.
What would you hope that people would take away from this play? The key messages that you want to reinforce?
I think it gives the opportunity to speak truth and humanity into what the outside doesn't see. Kind of the gross innards of what happens in relationships while going through Parkinson's with the caregiver, with the patient. One of the most meaningful talkbacks I recall, a woman probably in her 50s and her late teenage, young adult daughter came up and said, this is where Dad is right now. He was just diagnosed and he's not looking at any of it. And so I think being able to meet people at different levels with where they are in this journey is a really beautiful thing. To have care partners come up and say, you just spoke my story. To have people just say that this touched something that no conference, no book, no anything on video, no video could explain. Just of different things that you didn't expect to hear outside of the medical diagnosis. And that's what I think is pretty amazing about it.
Proactivity, I'm still saying that word. I'm learning proactivity to tell my brothers, to tell my people that know me and are concerned about me, people in my support group, which you should be going to if you're not in support groups. Ooh. To say my truth out loud to people is very helpful. It's hard to do, and I cry a lot. but it's helpful.
That was going to be my next question about support groups. Are you a member of one or more?
I'm a member of 4. We meet usually once a month. One of them meets virtually, so I get online and we chat and talk. Another one has 40 people that come. Another one has just 12, and so I go to as many as my schedule allows in Columbus, Ohio. Just to be witness to other people sharing their story, you know, that it's not in a vacuum. Very important. There's 2 things I got to tell you. See a movement disorder specialist. Make sure you see a movement disorder specialist and go to a support group. My 2 strongest words of advice.
In the play, you talk about a list. How important is that before your meetings with neurologists?
Pretty good. Pretty important, because I don't have the world's best memory. Even today, I struggle a little bit, but yeah, to have a list. So, because you start talking and time goes by real fast, and you just get 1 or 2 things that you remember. But if you have a list, it's helpful. It's very helpful.
Chris, as a partner, you can probably envision how valuable a list would be in debriefing afterwards. If you don't go to the appointment, it helps you
Oh,
recall.
absolutely. Yeah. And I'm a list person anyway, so, you know, and I think having a spouse at home who's not he doesn't have the best memory, he does not have Parkinson's, he just doesn't have a great memory. Having those things available and ready and willing to check off, even if you write, make list, to check off, make list. Knowing that things are getting done and being, like you said, proactive about it. So, yeah.
Matthew, how different do you think it is with early onset? Everything we're talking about here is different when it happens earlier.
Yeah, I was diagnosed at the age of 49. That's unfortunate on one hand, but fortunate, because I think it's been medically proven that people with early onset, their symptoms progress a little slower. And so I've had it for 6 years, and we're all at different stages. But, you know, it's a mixed blessing. Did I want to have it at 49? What's life going to be for me like in 20 years? I don't know. I have it for 6 years already. So I don't spend a lot of time thinking about the future. I don't. And I think that's okay for me. Not looking too far ahead or too far behind what I used to be. Just dealing with what's in front of me right now.
What do you think the play tells us about someone who doesn't have Parkinson's, maybe not a caregiver, just somebody else, a typical audience? What do you think this would convey to them? What messages about Parkinson's or other diseases?
Well, we all deal with things that are difficult. Everyone here, at some point in their life, is going to deal with difficult times, and the idea that I'm going to communicate the best I can through that process, to be honest with myself about where I am in this process, is really important. One of the people you can fake out is yourself. Pretend you don't have this symptom, but you do. I've learned that the best way to find out how my symptoms have progressed is to ask other people, not to try to self-assess what's going on, even though sometimes I'm the only one that recognizes what's going on in my body.
Where did you come up with the title? Is that reflective of you, or just?
Yeah, it's reflective of me and my neurologist situations. I just recognized right off the bat that it's the white coat syndrome in reverse. So you've heard of the white coat syndrome, which is everything's worse when you're with a doctor. Well, in PD, because most people have a little mental control over their symptoms, I walk like a champ in my neuro's office, both arms swinging, heel to toe. I've got the whole thing going on because I have just enough mental capacity to bring all of my attention to my walking at that moment. But, if I were to say the alphabet and walk in her office, then, things come unglued real quick when I'm, start at 100 and go down by threes. All right, 197. Next thing you know, I'm all wonky because my brain's trying to do too much.
Do you practice before your meetings with the technology? Backwards by 7?
No, but it's so funny how fast I can turn it on and off. When I really want to do something well, I can make myself do it for a period of time. But that takes a lot of mental energy, and that's hard to do.
What about burnout? People talk about caregiver burnout. I think there's a PD person burnout too. Have you experienced that?
Yeah. I think care partners need care partners. That's what my little saying. Care partners need care partners. It's a hard job. I had a care partner come up to me after a play and say, when am I supposed to quit? I said, wait just a minute. She said, no, in particular, I'm trying to get my husband just to drink water. He's not getting enough fluids. When am I supposed to quit trying to conjure him, trying to get him to drink water? I didn't have a good answer at that time because that's a difficult situation. At some point, if they have mental capacity, all of us PWPs, we have to take responsibility for stuff like that. We have to do the things we know to do, even though we have apathy and we're tired of doing it. So, can you ask the question one more time?
I think you answered it. You need
All right, good. Okay.
Put on the list. Drink water.
Well, care partners need help. Your adult children need to be helping you out. I'm just going to say that out loud. Your adult children should be helping you on some level. And encourage them to do it. And encourage them, you can rent this video of a play, and show it to them. This is what I'm going through, this is what Dad's going through. So please get the help that you need. And be respectful. Care partners need breaks, they need vacations, they need helpful support from family and friends. And PWPs, we're just kind of stuck with it, aren't we?
Yeah.
We get sick of it and we pick up and carry on in some way.
Krista, anything to add as a caregiver acting?
Yeah, I think that has been something that has been stated a lot, is that care partners want their children and family members to watch this, kind of to say, this is what I'm going through. That they don't, you've said this before, care partners don't get the chance to say, I'm done. They don't get that chance, they have to keep going. And so it's just a lot for them from what I've seen and what I've heard as an outsider. But again, y'all are the strongest people in the world for being care partners.
Care partners have a big license. They have no license compared to the person with Parkinson's. So the PWP can say anything they want because they're a patient that we know they have Parkinson's. But the care partner is not allowed to say, I don't want to do this. I don't like this. I'm sick of this. They can't say that, even though the PWP can. That's sad, but that's why care partners need assistance. They need help. They need help.
I know several care partners that get involved in personal things like finances or the ability to keep driving when you take the keys away. Have you encountered any of those difficult crossroads?
I still live pretty independently.
You still drive?
I still drive. I'm big on saying if you hit a barrier, find a way around it. Like, don't give up on something you love to do, like golf. Carry on, find a way around it. But there are exceptions to that rule, which would be driving. You can't just, there's no way to meet somebody in the middle and drive. You either can drive safely or you can't. And I know it's hard to know, but that's important.
Yeah, I think most states have got programs like that for getting a driver's license, keeping it.
Yeah.
You can get a test to see whether you really drive as poorly as some people might think you do. In my case, I'm not leaving. That road's curvy. We got a late question here. And it came up a couple times earlier too, therapy. the value of the third person. How do you, if you have experience with like that with a therapist, how do you get engaged in conversations that might relate to medicine or things that might be more neurosurgeon instead of psychological?
Well, most therapists are a little hesitant to say something is absolutely true because they're not considered the expert in the field. Well, here's some things that I found about therapists. A, I'm with them twice as long, usually, sometimes up to an hour as opposed to 20 minutes or half an hour. These people know a lot more about me than the neurologist does. It's not necessarily the neurologist's fault, but these people are digging into my life and they're making an important connection between what I'm experiencing at home and what I'm experiencing in an office, and making connections. Well, I can see that X is happening today because you're not getting enough sleep. You get, whatever it might be. They're making connections that I don't always get with the neurologist.
Do you have any experience with a nutritionist or
Not as much as I
physician,
hope.
physical therapist, occupational?
Yeah, I've seen all three. Occupational, physical, speech and language, and they've been very helpful, very helpful.
They connect the dots too.
Yes, they do. They notice things that the neurologist doesn't, simply because of time.
Physical therapy is something that a lot of people, I don't think they take advantage of that, but that's something that I think would be very useful.
You have to be proactive.
Regular, yeah, be proactive.
I think therapy slows progression. Absolutely.
Finally, it's not really a question, it's a statement from someone here in the audience who thought everything was fabulous and fantastic, fortuitous. He said, flip to the other side. How can I get that prodigal son in F major?
Come and see me afterwards.
Comments from Bruce.